finish walls. Okay, let's pick this up at 0906. Save as. It's now 0907. Save as again. Complete. Okay, let's add to our project notes what we're going to be doing. We're going to add finish walls. Now, what do we mean by that? Add finish walls. Well, this could be an interior finish. Likely it is going to be an interior finish. I'm going to just go over here to my phase 1 floor plans and then top of foundation wall phase 1. I'll double click on that. Now, in some of this space, we're going to have some ceramic. How can we do that? Well, you have a couple options. Number one, you can click on the wall type, edit type, edit, and then you can add a finish right onto the wall type. So you could go insert, and maybe I would just insert that on the interior side. And then I could say, we're going to make it a finish. We're going to call it a paint. We're going to call it ceramic. That's not really the best way to go about it. Take your walls to the gypsum and maybe a paint, white paint or something like that. So I could add a white paint there if I wanted to. Or make your gypsum wall board white. So why is that? Let's just click over into 3D Show Complete and I'll spin my view around. And right here is a perfect example. These walls, they're two separate wall types, even this one and this one, even though you can't see the line. If I were to make the finish on this one ceramic and this one ceramic, that might be okay, but what if the ceramic changed course? Maybe you just wanted it on a piece of it. So you can see the dilemma that we have there. Maybe just from here back we want ceramic, and from here over we want wood paneling. So that's where the dilemma is, and what ends up happening is we just draw another wall, and it's just drawn on the inside face. And if I go back to a floor plan view, let's do that. So let's make the wall type first. We're going to click on wall. And we'll start with this one, sure, basic wall, EW2 phase 1. I'll edit it, duplicate, and we're just going to call this one, call it like IF, interior finish. And we might just call that 1, and then, I might call it IF1 dash ceramic. And then structure, let's just click on edit. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to be deleting pretty much everything here. And then I can click on finish. And then you see this 4. There's a finish 4 and a finish 5. It could be interior, exterior, but whatever you do, just make it consistent. So typically the 4 is going to be the exterior and then the 5 is going to be the interior. But you can choose it. Just keep it consistent. That's the main message. Okay, so the material is going to be, I'll click on that little extra button, and we are going to look for ceramic. There we go. I just typed in CER to look for ceramic tile. Now that's what it's going to look like. So do we want that? If we don't, we can just right click and duplicate it. And we could just call this one ceramic tile 2. And then we could adjust it. If you don't put the color in the name, then you don't really need to adjust the name, right? I could just go in here and say, okay, well, maybe we want to go into the appearance and we want to pick another type of ceramic. Maybe we want to change some things about the ceramic, high gloss, maybe we want it satin. The image itself might be something that we load in. All these settings that you're choosing here, that'll affect the rendering. Okay, and then the shading, do you want it to be just a color? Or do you want to approximate from that finished rendered color what the shade color is? I like that generally most of the time. Okay, there we go. So we've got ceramic. Then there's your pattern. So these would be your pattern that goes on the surface for elevations. And cut pattern is when you actually cut through it. And it's going to be so thin that we're going to just say none and then okay. Now the thickness of this is going to be, let's just make it 3/8 of an inch, which is quite thin. And then we say okay and okay. Now there's a bit of a trick to this. I find that if you draw it, the cleanups will have a hard time at the corner. So let's do that. We're going to go to the location line, finish face, interior, and then we're going to draw right on top of the gypsum wall board. And we're just going to draw to here. Now, see what happens is sometimes it tries to shoot through to the other core boundary, which can kind of make things a little confusing. So what I'm going to do is delete that wall I just made and draw it a little different way. So what I'll do is go to the wall, choose your ceramic, finish face interior. Oh, that's the same. But I'm going to just draw it out. I'm going to draw it out from the wall. Then what I'm going to do is use the Align tool to align it up. Before we do that, let's disallow join between the ceramic wall and these other walls. Again, if they get aligned and they're joined, it might cause a problem. So let's disallow those joins, just drag them up. And now we're going to align. I like to type in AL, it's quick, or you can pick that. Okay, we'll just line those up. Now, you have a choice here. You can lock them. If you lock them, then they'll move with the wall. It's not really a bad idea to do that as an exception. I didn't lock the other ones. I just locked that one. Be consistent. So if you're not going to lock, don't lock any. If you're going to lock them all. All right, so that's sort of half of the battle right there. And what does that give us? Let's go to our 3D view again. Now, what that gives us is an ability to click on the wall and maybe change its finish. Maybe we want to drop it down so it's only going to be like a banding under the cupboards or something like that. And that's in fact what I'm intending on doing. So we're going to just drop that down. Of course, you can use the Align tool. This is something we're going to tweak as we go because we don't have our cupboards in yet. So let's just line all that up, and then I can pick that bottom face and have that line up. Now, maybe we want this other wall, as I spin around, maybe we want that all to be ceramic. Or maybe you have some idea on a shape that you want to put in there. So I'm going to click on that ceramic wall, and I'm going to click on Edit Profile. So this is where now you're able to adjust what shape this wall is going to be. It doesn't affect the main wall, it's just the finish. So perhaps you want some kind of wavy, swoopy thing going across it. So I'll go with the spline. And we're going to go like this. And then I'm going to do another one. Don't ask me why you'd want this in your house, but it might be paint. It might be a commercial project you're doing with them. It could be just plain editing the tile so it's going around doors or something like that. Okay, not the greatest swoop in the world, but a swoop nonetheless. So let's trim this up. Let's just drag these down. Good, so I'm just going to drag those down. So there we go. Let's delete these others. Let's finish. There it is. So hopefully whoever's tiling this has a lot of patience. Okay, so that's interior finish walls. So we can go to View, close hidden windows, save, shut down, and we're back to this interface here.